Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me today for this webinar called Dinner with the Writer. And my name is Dr. Kerry Yerkew. I'm the owner of True North, and it's a consulting company to help people do things like write books. And here's one of my books that I wrote on neck pain. Being a chiropractor, I know a lot about neck pain and back pain. And I wrote this book a few years ago on Amazon. I think it was 3 years ago. And the book is in paperback, ebook, and it's an audio book as well. That took me almost a year to write that book. And now I think things are a lot easier because you can use tools like AI to write a book. So I'm going to go through that with you today. If you're a beginner writer, you want to write your first book, we should be able to get most of the book completed in 30 days. So let's just take a look at the slides here. So again, my name is Dr. Kerry Yerkew. This webinar is called AI Powered Writing, and it's how to write your first book in 30 days. And I thought this would be a really interesting concept. I'm working on my fifth book now. I do like writing. It's going to be a lot easier now with AI. So I've started to practice with that. I've been using it for a few months, and I thought I'd just share with you how I'm using it to help me with my writing. My first book was called Back Pain. It's on Amazon. Then Neck Pain. I then wrote a book called Successful Private Practice and the 100-Day Diet. So those are the four books that I have on Amazon. Today I'm going to give you an example of how you can write your first book in 30 days with AI help. And we might as well title this book using today's topic. So we're going to use some examples of how we could write a book on AI and how it can help a new writer. Make sure you stay until the end because I'll give you a special offer if you want to learn more or follow up on what we're talking about today. I'll give you an opportunity to learn more, to get some one-on-one help. So that'll be at the end, and I'll put the links in the chat. So if you're watching a replay of this, you'll be able to go to the chat, click on the links there. So your first step is to have a clear idea of what you want to write about. Now, this is before the 30 days starts. So what I'd recommend is you pick a topic, maybe something you know about. It could be nonfiction like I do, or maybe it's fiction, and make sure you're really clear about the topic. You might want to do some research, like going on to Amazon, look at the bestsellers list, look at the titles, look at the genre, and what people are writing about, and what the public's interested in. So you always want to start with doing some research and some kind of comparative studies to see exactly what people are doing and what's working out there. So once you're clear on that idea, then the AI really kicks in. So we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to show you some examples. So the first thing you want to do is write your introduction. So you want to get a topic. You want to ask the AI to help you with topics. So you could get 3 or 4 or 5 topic headings for your book. And then the next step is once you choose one of those headings, and again, I'll show you an example of this in a minute, then the next thing you want to do is you want to go to the intro. Now in the intro, what you want to do is take your topic heading and ask the AI to help you with writing your intro. And so that's the next step. And I use ChatGPT because it's free and it's really easy to use. So I use ChatGPT, you just have to sign up for it. The first time I tried to sign up for it, I wasn't able to. I think it was just busy or full. And then the next time I went to sign up for it, it went pretty well. And then I've been using it ever since. I see now they have a subscription service. So if I start to have trouble with ChatGPT, or if I'm finding that I can't access it, then I'll probably subscribe to the paid version. The next thing after your intro is you want the AI to help you with chapters. And I would recommend on your first book writing about 6 chapters. You want to get somewhere around 10,000 words, and depending on your font size and the size of the paperback book, that'll dictate the number of pages. So I would kind of go with standard font sizes, standard page sizes as well. And you can go to Amazon Kindle, sign up for an account there, and then it'll tell you what the standard template is. They actually give you some templates. So I would recommend that you go to Kindle, sign up for an account, and then download the template to write a book. Then you want to get the chapter titles. And you can always play with this a little bit with ChatGPT. Type in the title of the book, ask ChatGPT for 6 specific chapters, and then you can always ask ChatGPT to do another 6 for you if you don't like the first 6. But it's important to be very specific and very simple with ChatGPT because it does respond to the queries. So basically what you're writing down and asking for, it's going to deliver on that. It does a very good job of it, and I'll show you those examples in a minute. Then you want to take each chapter and you want to get a topic for each chapter. And what I would do is break that down into subheadings for each chapter title. So the first chapter is an intro. The second chapter will be actually a specific title name. And then you want to get subheadings. And I would say about 3 subheadings are good. You could go 4 or 5. And you want to have those as subtopics in that chapter. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take that subtitle and you're going to ask ChatGPT to write 3 to 5 paragraphs for you. And it'll write 3 to 5 paragraphs on that title or subtitle. Once you're done that, the next thing is you're going to want to write some credits in. And credits could be like acknowledgments, a dedication, a disclaimer. In my case with nonfiction, it may not apply to everyone, so you want to put in a disclaimer. And ChatGPT is very good at helping you to write those. You could also type in a query like, what should your cover look like? So what would be a good cover for my title? And then later you could go to something like Canva, which is what I use, to make a cover. We won't have enough time today to talk about a cover for your book, but once you're done this manuscript, it'll be easy to upload that to Kindle, but then you're going to need a cover. And either you're going to want to hire somebody to do a cover for you, or you can do it on Canva, and you can always ask ChatGPT to help you with graphics, so what should be on there, and then what kind of image would be best. Also, I would compare to other books on, let's say, Amazon's bestseller list, just to compare and see what the graphics look like. It's not that difficult. It's actually quite easy to do this yourself. The dimensions are the tricky part. Just getting the right dimensions for the book. The paperback requires different dimensions than the ebook and the audiobook. So just tweaking the dimensions to get the right look for your book is going to be important. And that's probably worth doing another webinar on setting your title cover, your cover for your book, and the graphic design and the image output for that. So we won't be able to cover all that today. I will cover that in my masterclass coming up, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. And then of course you want to write a conclusion. And for a conclusion for the book, I usually take the intro chapter and I copy that, and then I ask ChatGPT, please write a conclusion based on this intro. And then you can paste in the intro and then ask ChatGPT to make a conclusion. And it does a pretty good job of making a conclusion for you. So I'll come back to the summary in a minute. I do have some slides for you here. So let me just grab the slides I prepared so you can see those. I'm going to bring that over here. Just make sure that that shows up for you. Okay, so here's an actual transcription of a sample of what I did today, just to give you a better understanding of this concept. So what is a good book title for writing a book with AI? So ChatGPT, this is the symbol for it, responded, co-authoring with artificial intelligence, exploring the future of writing. So I like that title. And then So then I wrote down, what are 3 good book titles for writing a book with AI? Well, the AI Writer's Toolkit, Enhance Your Writing with Artificial Intelligence. A second example was Wordsmiths Unite, Collaborating with AI for Powerful Writing results. And number 3 was The Future of Writing, How AI is Changing the Way We Create and Communicate. I just took the third one as an example. And then what I did was I asked ChatGPT this. I said, write an introduction for my book on the future of writing, how AI is changing the way we create and communicate. So ChatGPT, it did take a while this morning actually for it to write this. So I thought it was getting stuck, but it did start to write after a little bit. And it said, the introduction, the way we write and communicate has been transformed dramatically over the years, from the invention of the printing press to the rise of social media. With the advent of artificial intelligence, we are now witnessing another significant shift in the way we create and communicate. AI technologies are increasingly being used to assist writers and other content creators in generating, editing, and refining their work. So, and there's 3 more paragraphs that it wrote after that. So I copied this to show you and took a screenshot of it so that you can see that. Now, you might want to run your final manuscript through something like a plagiarism checker, because I haven't completed my manuscript yet, and you definitely don't want to plagiarize someone else's work. So I would run it through a plagiarism checker, but it's highly doubtful that ChatGPT is writing exactly what somebody has in their book. It might be taking snapshots of, it might be taking a collage of books that have been written on artificial intelligence or articles, but it's not going to be exactly the same as another person writing a book on this. And then what I did next was I said, write 6 chapter titles for my book on the way we write and communicate and how it's been transformed over the years, from the invention of the printing press to the rise of social media. So then it started writing, with the advent of artificial intelligence, we are now witnessing another significant shift in the way we're communicating and creating. So I basically took the whole introductory chapter that I just read off to you, and I said, write 6 chapter titles for my book. So I find the more specific you are with the AI, the more specific the answers are going to be. So let's see what how it responded. So the first chapter, it said, is the evolution of writing from the printing press to AI assisted writing. Number 2 is how AI is changing the content creation, the many ways AI is used in writing, enhancing creativity with AI, how AI can help generate new ideas. That's the 3rd chapter. The 4th chapter, the future of AI assisted writing, what to expect in the coming years. The 5th chapter is the ethics of AI and writing, responsible use of technology. So you can see that these chapter titles were printed by the AI, and now you can take a look at those and go, yeah, I like this, or I don't like how that flows. And you might want to rearrange these chapter titles, or what I would do is just copy this answer, and in the next line you could type in, please rewrite these 6 chapter titles to be more synonymous, or to be progressive, let's say, in the chapter title. So if you didn't like how it kind of went together, you could use the different type of specific query using the answer that you just got from ChatGPT. All right, let's take a look. So now I wrote down, as an example, use 3 chapter subheadings for the evolution of writing from the printing press to AI assisted writing. So 3 chapter subheadings, the printing press and the democratization of writing, and then it gave 2 subpoints. The digital revolution, from word processors to social media, it gave 2 bullet points underneath that. And then 3, the AI revolution, the latest shift in the writing landscape, and 2 subpoints underneath that. So you can see how ChatGPT could help you to break things down and to start to get more detailed and into some subtopics, okay? Then I asked ChatGPT to write 3 paragraphs for one of the chapters. So basically I put that chapter title in there, and then it wrote 3 paragraphs for me. So now the ball's rolling. As a writer, if you have some writer's block and you're wondering what should I write, now at least you have some momentum, and you can take these paragraphs and start to expand on them. You could use AI to help you. Now, one word of caution here is what I find is if you start to use AI too much in this regard, it can actually start to repeat itself a bit. So at this point, when you have paragraphs and it's for your chapters or your sub chapters, then I would start to write and make things flow better yourself. So I would recommend doing that, because that way you're going to keep things fresh, you're going to keep things without duplication, and you're just going to be able to have one chapter flow into the other one. Okay. Then I write acknowledgments, a dedication, and a disclaimer for my book on the future of writing, how AI is changing the way we create and communicate. So it wrote down, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to all those who have contributed to the creation of this book. It kind of uses what other people write for acknowledgments, to my friends and colleagues who have provided encouragement, support. So basically I would take this and modify it for your specific circumstance. So your friends and colleagues, maybe you want to name them, maybe you want to be a little more specific with that. Experts in the field, again, you might want to name those people, but this gives you a good idea of what you should be saying in the acknowledgments. The dedication, this book is dedicated to all those who are passionate about writing and communication and who believe in the power of technology to transform our world for the better. I actually like that one. I might just leave that the same. And then disclaimer, the contents of this book are intended for informational purposes only. The author and the publisher of this book have made every effort to ensure the information contained herein is accurate and up to date. So it goes on. That helps too, because I remember when I was writing my book, and like I said, the first book, it took me like a whole year to write it. And this was in 2019. So I had to do this all myself, and sometimes you're not sure what to do, so you have to go and research exactly what a disclaimer is and how you should be wording a disclaimer. So there's a lot of work that went into it, and ChatGPT AI just makes this a lot easier to do. So now here, in conclusion, the rise of AI-assisted writing marks a significant shift in the way we create and communicate. As we have explored in this book, AI technologies are already being used to automate content creation, curate information, and streamline the writing process. So this conclusion is based on the introduction that we already have. And basically I'm asking the AI to write a conclusion for me based on exactly that introduction. So that's perfect. So I'm just going to get rid of this now, because I think we covered all my slides. And I'm just going to go back to the summary of today's webinar. So in summary, you want to have a clear idea before you start this process. So do some research, be really clear about your topic, be really clear about the market, what people are interested in before you even start. And then once you have a clear idea, then you should be able to get a manuscript done in 30 days if you really focus on it. And if you use AI to help you. So what you want to do is take that idea, you want to build out a structure to it. So some chapter titles. I would recommend 6 chapter titles if you're writing your first book, or you want to write one in 30 days. Build it out to 10,000 words so that you want subtopics or subchapters, and you want paragraphs in those subchapters. Then you want to transfer this to a Word document. I like to use Grammarly to check my grammar and the flow of the document. So that's another way of using quasi-AI to help get another look at your document, your manuscript, and to give you some feedback and make some changes on that. And then once you have it in the right format in Word, you can download the template from Amazon once you have an account. So you'll download that Kindle template, and then you're going to copy your Word document, your text, into that template. and then it'll be formatted correctly to upload to Amazon. So really easy to do. Then you'll need to design a book cover. So Amazon's going to ask you for a book cover. You're going to need one for paperback. You're going to need one for ebook. And if you're going to do audiobook, which I highly recommend because I found audiobook outsells ebook and paperback 2 to 1. So you're basically going to want to do an audiobook as well. And so in the future, what I'll do is I will do some webinars on designing a book cover, doing your first audiobook. But if you do want to get that material before I do my next webinar, I'm going to give you an offer, a special offer here, and that's to join me for my masterclass on this topic. So in the masterclass, I'm going to get more specific about exactly what I'm talking about today and basically guide you step by step through the process of writing a book. So if you're interested in that, I've got a coupon code here for you. And if you're on Instagram, you can just go to the link in my bio, which is a Linktree link, and then just find that masterclass on writing. If you're here on YouTube, I just put the link in the chat, and so you can just easily click on that link and it'll take you right there. So that's simple. If you want to talk about your concept one-on-one, I'm offering a 20-minute free consult right now, and that's just to discuss your concept, talk about how I could help you, and that could lead to something like some coaching, some one-on-one coaching. And I usually do coaching over 13 sessions, and those 13 sessions are over 13 or 26 weeks, so weekly or every 2 weeks. So that's how I do my coaching. And if you want to follow me, please follow me on social media at TrueNorthPM, and please like this video. If you're on social media, put a like there, a heart. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel and also like this video because it helps to get more people watching our videos. It helps the algorithm on YouTube to recommend this video to other people. Our podcast, it's on Apple, Spotify, and Google, and a lot of times I'll record the video and or the audio, upload it to our podcast channels, and if you miss something like this, you'll be able to get it, especially if you subscribe to the feed, because when there's a new podcast episode available, you'll get notified. So I do recommend subscribing to that. At True North, we have a variety of different topics. We talk about writing, but I have some topics on health as well. I talk to healthcare providers and help them. So really, it's a consulting company to help people in specific areas that I have a lot of expertise in. So I want to thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions, please type them in the chat. I'd be happy to answer those right now. If you don't have any questions and you want to DM me, you can do that directly here on Instagram. Feel free to send me a DM or comment on this later, and I'll be watching my posts and I'll try to respond to you as quickly as possible. So again, thanks very much for joining me today. I really appreciate you guys being here. It was a fun concept to talk about today because it was a little bit different for me, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon.